What's up, Surreals here. Welcome back to the channel. Hope everybody's having a great day today. Today we're going to be going over the settings for Season 4 for the best graphics, best performance, best frame rate, best everything. You know it, man. So this is Season 4, newly updated graphics for your PCs, controllers, sensitivity, whatever, man. Yeah. But anyways, starting with not keyboard and mouse, because we're not weird. I don't play keyboard and mouse. I'm not weird. No hate to you, but I'm just not weird. You play keyboard and mouse. Controller gang. I mean, all right. Moving on. Anyways, so aiming inputs, aiming input device, obviously controller. So starting with button layouts and all that stuff, I don't really use any of those. I play claw personally. It's just, yeah, I play claw. Claw is just better. I highly recommend switching. Then we're gonna go with the dead put in zones. So dead zones are extremely crucial for perfecting your gameplay movement and just all that jazzy wazzy interesting cool stuff, I guess. Left stick min's gonna be at 1 though, 65. Left stick max. Right stick min is 5. Right stick max is gonna be 99. Left trigger and right trigger are both 0. That pretty much means, so when you press in these triggers, you're gonna get the least amount of delay when your gun shoots. So if they're at 100, you're gonna be pressing that trigger for a long time. So I highly suggest not being weird and putting them at 0. Moving on with aiming and sensitivity. So I play on 1312. I usually snipe a lot and I run around and do crazy movement stuff. So, but if you don't play on 1312, that's fine. You know, 6.6 is usually a good number to stick with for slower sensitivities. And then vertical sense, all this stuff is nothing really. Don't mess with these really just mess your game up and mess you up, and you don't really mess up, so don't do that. That's never good, man. This stuff's all just nothing really either, but feel free to take a screenshot, copy any of it down if you need to. So far, aiming response curve is going to be dynamic. Dynamic is the best response curve in the game for just tracking and flicking onto people and all that stuff. ADS sensitivity multiplier focus is when you're aiming in with your, you know, ray guns and all that stuff. So mine's at 0.80 because I have a higher sense. So when I'm aimed in, if it was at 1, it's gonna be like all wobbly and just, it's not gonna work great, man. So 0.80 is what I run. I recommend trying it out. It's actually very good paired with my sense. And then custom sensitivity per zoom is gonna mean like any optic. So 2 to 3s, you know, they're a little bit smaller, so I like to have a little bit quicker. Getting up to the 6, 7, 8, 9s, it's a little bit slower because you're usually scoping in at longer distances, so you need to be more precise. So slower is better. Target aim assist, obviously on. You know, why do you not have it on? I don't know either. Black Ops aim assist type is going to be the best one. Third person ADS correction type. Motion sensor behavior, all that stuff doesn't really matter. So moving on. Automatical tactical sprint. Slide maintain sprint. If you're slide canceling a lot, which you should be, is going to maintain that tac sprint coming out of that slide. Auto move forward. I have mine off. I know some people play with it on. Tactical sprint behavior, single tap run. So you're not killing your joysticks, but it also still works very, very well with just movement and all that stuff. Ground and mantle, obviously off, off, off. Slide dive behavior is going to be slide only. I know some people like to play on hybrid, but for me it feels kind of buggy and I can never I don't know, whenever I'm trying to slide it usually dives, so I just like to stick with slide only because I'm not doing very much diving. So yeah, plunging underwater is free. That's just what I prefer, I guess. That's a preference thing. Parachute automatic behavior is off, so it doesn't redeploy automatically when I'm close to hitting the ground. Crucial but not important, but I would recommend turning it off and giving it a try. Sprinting door bash obviously on. Ledge climb behavior, mantle only. Aim down sight, yeah, all this stuff is just, this is all just default stuff. Oh yeah, interact reload behavior. Mine is on prioritize interact, so I don't have to hold X on somebody's gun if I'm trying to pick it up in a hurry if I don't want to reload mine. preference thing. Once again, all this other stuff is kind of just default preference stuff. Nothing really too important, to be honest, to take note of or copy down. I mean, if you want to copy it down, you know, I will put down below the timestamps of everything in the game for screenshots, and you guys can obviously pause the video if you need to. Moving on to the most important part of the video, man. It's gonna be your graphics, bro. If you really want to see stuff like how you should be seeing it and not like Minecraft, like pixelated, you're gonna want to copy these down, man. These are optimal and for your own benefit to see everything all the time, even in shadows and corners and those little Timmies and those rats that are always in corners, bro. You will be able to see them with these on. So 4-screen borderless for display mode. This is just your monitor and your graphics card, whatever. Really just default stuff. Aspect ratio is going to be automatic, but should be 16:9, I would hope. Otherwise you I don't know. But shaders, nothing there. Display gamma, nothing. Brightness, mine's at 60. I feel like 50 was a little dark and 60 is not over the top bright, so it's like that sweet spot. You can try 55 or just leave it on 50, whichever one you prefer. Going into the eco mode preset, you're gonna want to do efficiency, VSync at 100%, custom frame. Mine's custom, so when I'm in game it's at 250, and when I'm out of game in lobbies and stuff it's at 60, so it's not pulling a whole lot of extra like usage when I'm in my background apps or whatever, man. It's just good to put it like that so it's not pulling a bunch of extra stuff that it needs to. I forget the terminology right now, man. Just work with me. Out of focus is at 250. Menu render resolution maximal. Pause game rendering off. Focus mode 35. Moving on to quality. Graphic preset is going to be custom. Render resolution 19:20, 1080. Keep that at 100. Upscale sharpening. This is where people messing up sometimes, man. Fidelity cast is going to make it so everything is sharp and pristine and very crisp. A lot of people don't know this, but any of these other ones, you're gonna have way more visual appearance and performance on fidelity cast. You want to stick it at 100, and everything will be super crisp and clean. It won't be like Minecraft all pixelated. Everything like 300 meters out plus, you know, like far ranges and stuff, boom, easy targets, and everything's just super clean, man. So I definitely recommend that and sticking on that. Path trace, that's not even important. VRAM scale target is at 80. Variable rate shading on. NVIDIA on. Texture resolution, this is for like your camos and just like the overall graphics of the game. You want to put that on high. Texture, whatever that word is, on low. Depth of field, you want that on off. I don't know who the hell, excuse my language, I don't know who plays with this on, but if you do, you're a creep, and you probably just ought to turn it off, because you'll end up doing a lot better probably. But yeah, personal preference, I guess. Detail quality level on low. As you can see on the left side, that's the low on the left side. There's less like grass there, so you're gonna be able to see a target better if they're behind that. On the right side is obviously high. You don't want to put it on high because there's more grass there, so if somebody's hiding in there like a little rat, you know, that you might step on, it's gonna scare you and you're gonna probably die. So you want to have that on low. Particle resolution very low. You see on the left side that's very low. The right side's obviously high, so obviously less particles means you can see enemies and everything a lot better, so put it on very low. Bullet impacts, mine's on. I like to see the bullet impacts. I don't know, I'm weird like that, but I know if you turn it off you'll have better frames. So it's personal preference thing. It's not really game breaking or crashing or whatever, so it's personal preference. Persistent effects are on off. Shader quality is on high. Left is going to be low, so it's more dark, more shadowy, and then right side is obviously high, so it's lighter. You can see stuff better. This is what helps with seeing those darker areas in the map, like the corners and whatnot. On-demand texture streaming off. If you play with this on, your PC is probably going to blow up, so you might want to turn it off. Local texture streaming quality is on low. Shader quality is on very low. Once again, helps with those dark corners in the map. Screen space shadows, this is for your camos and just like overall game look and performance, so you want to put that on high. Ambient occlusion off. Screen space reflections high. This is going to make it so your game looks like less, like, I don't know what's the word, like dead. This just makes it so it's just less dead, bro. Just put it on high, man. Um, Static reflection quality is on low. Tessellation off. Whatever that is on low. Deferred physics quality on off. Weather good volumes off. Water quality off. This just makes it so when you're looking at the water, there's not that like reflection paired with static reflection quality on low, so you can see targets in the water a lot easier. And it's not going to make the water like look like weird. Like, look at the right picture and then you would see that from the top if it was on. But off is obviously the left picture, so it just looks like clear and you can see through it. Moving on to view, field of view is at 105. It's like that sweet spot for me. That's a personal preference thing. ADS field of view is unaffected. You can see more if it's unaffected. Wide for weapon field of view makes your gun smaller and everything else bigger. Third person, that's like pointless. Weapon motion blur and ward motion blur, those should be on off, quite obviously, unless you're playing and you want that drunk feeling. I guess you can turn them on. But other than that, man, I don't see why you'd really have them on in the first place if they're on. And you're wondering why you're like feeling drunk while you're playing Call of Duty. It's either because you had a few too many, or this is on. So go check, make sure that's off. Film grain, another big one. You want to turn this to 0. It makes it so it's less pixelated. You guys, I don't know if you can't really tell, but looking at this wall over here on the right side and the wall over here on the left side, and I guess just everything, they look more pixelated, and that would mean it's going to be at 0. Or no, if it's more pixelated, that means it's at 100. But if it's less pixelated, that means it's at 0. First person and third person camera movement is going to be at 50. That's the least. That minimalizes your screen shake. Turn those down. Inverted flashbang, that's just pointless. Don't even turn that on. You're weird if you do. Audio, moving on. This is all just personal preference, your own stuff that you got set up. But I mean, if you're on PC, man, put it to Windows default. And then, you know, this stuff is just personal preference. Some people actually use headphones bass boost, but I prefer headphones. It makes everything more, what's the word? Just sound better and easier to pick up and read, like right to left, left to right, footsteps, and all that stuff for headphones. And headphones bass boost is a little like over the top. I don't know. I just don't like it, but that's personal preference. Master gain volume is on 80. Effects volume on 100. Once again, this is for your benefit and this is a personal preference, but benefit of performing to the best of you can. And MW3, Warzone, anything. Effects volume at 100, dialogue 30. I don't need to hear them screaming grenade out, reloading now, or whatever they freaking want to say, man. Gameplay music obviously at 0. Cinematic music at 10. War tracks at 0. Voice chat volume 50. Voice chat obviously on. You want to hear those ragers. Proximity chat. All this stuff is just not really important, man. Feel free to copy it down once again if you guys need to. Pause the video. Whatever you need, man. And it's all here for you though. Moving on with interface. This stuff is all personal preference as well, really. But I know, where's it at in here? Oh yeah, the center dot, man. Crosshair dot and center dot, you're gonna want to put them on, bro. It really helps with centering. If you're very bad at centering, bro, put this on, and wherever you're walking, seeing that picture over there, how the dot is in the middle of those stairs. That's usually where you'd want to be aiming if you're going to move up those stairs. And then obviously as you progress up the stairs, move it to the center of the stairway in the middle where an enemy would be. If you're just holding it down, bro, then you're probably gonna die. So work on your centering. If you're not, larger dot helps for those of you who need that. Hit marker visuals, all personal preference, man. All personal preference here. Telemetry all on, connection meter, all this stuff, that just helps reading if my frames are bad. And tool tips obviously off, I don't need them. Gameplay tips, don't need them either. Just less visual clutter. Skip introduction movie, I turned mine on just so you know. Gotta work that intro. Watch the intro every single time. I don't know, man, just a little something if you don't want to watch that and you wondering if that was even a thing. But it's all here, man. If you guys enjoyed the video or found this helpful, please smash that like button and subscribe. It really helps a lot, especially liking, bro. It gets it out to everybody else that is looking for stuff like this. Really just trying to help all those people out that need an updated graphics or any of that fun stuff, man. But with that being said, boys and girls, hope everybody has a great day, great night, great weekend. Surreals, be positive, be unique, spread love. Peace out.
I think I'm falling for you.